The Meg is a giant shark movie based on a series of books about a megalodon, which is a prehistoric shark that lived millions of years ago, or thousands of years ago, or today. So let's review The Meg. The Meg is a rare movie right now because it's a summer popcorn flick where you can just turn off your brain, eat your popcorn, enjoy the special effects and the ridiculousness of the concept. There's not a lot of substance to it, but it's still doing really well. On a $130 million budget, it's made well over $400 million. That's surprising. I think like me, maybe a lot of people saw that Jason Statham is in this and said, hey, like, yeah, this is going to be a ridiculous shark movie, but it has some credibility now because it's got Jason Statham in it. And why would he do a ridiculous shark movie unless it was going to kick ass? Now, the concept of the plot is actually kind of interesting because you've got this advanced research station in the middle of the ocean, and I think you kind of need that. You need a reason for them to go into the water in a shark movie, and this one has it. Now, they've got the Mariana Trench, and they've never explored beneath it. So when they actually go beneath it and find new depths, which they never thought they could, there's actually this kind of like frozen layer above it that they didn't get through before, and now they can scan through it, and there's all sorts of new life down there, including a megalodon.
The Mariana Trench was the deepest place on Earth. But we encountered a completely new world. My God.
Now Lori, one of the researchers, takes her little team down there in a sub and gets stuck down there, and they gotta call Jason Statham to come rescue her because she's his ex-wife. Down there they discover the megalodon, and after some shenanigans they get back up to the surface, but so does the megalodon. Chemistry and character writing is an important part of a shark movie. You have to care about these characters if they're at risk and if they're going to get eaten by a shark, and this movie doesn't really put a lot of time into that. Now, I've heard some critics say that Jason Statham is miscast in this, and I couldn't disagree more because, yeah, I'd go see this shark movie, but I want to believe that this shark movie is going to be good, and Jason Statham made me believe that, and he kept me entertained throughout. If he wasn't in this, I'd be pretty disappointed with this movie.
He looks heroic, but he's kind of got a negative attitude.
You also got Li Bingbing in this, who's transitioned from Asian films into American films. She was in Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie Chan and Jet Li as a white-haired warrior, and I really enjoyed her in that. And then she was in Resident Evil and Transformers. I'm really sorry for that. But she's also probably the reason why China spent $50 million in their box office to watch this. She's the draw for them. She's also like the love interest for Jason Statham in this, with a lot of like childlike dialogue for this childlike relationship. I say it was pretty bad, about this much. One of the things that annoyed me was the blaming of Jason Statham in this movie. There was a rescue that went wrong in the beginning and he had to close a hatch and leave a couple of friends behind before his station exploded. Now I get it, maybe the people in the sub didn't see the giant megalodon shark that caused this, but they had to have felt the explosion. He didn't have any more time to waste. But still, he gets blamed and he kind of throws his life away after this because, you know, he's having to deal with all this shit. It didn't make any sense. Rainn Wilson plays a billionaire who kind of financed the station, and so he's really the audience in this because he's learning about everything. It's the first time he went to the station, and when the shark escapes, he wants to destroy it because, you know, it's a lawsuit that's going to cost him more money. And then that, it makes sense. His character is actually kind of logical in that aspect. I really like that he lied to everybody about telling the authorities about this shark when really he was just going to hire a special ops team and go hunt it himself. And that just seems like something a rich billionaire would do.
Why don't you just put a tracker on it? Did you guys ever watch Shark Week?
Him and Statham's one-liners were really the only comedy keeping this thing together. There was a character named DJ who was throwing out joke after joke, and none of them landed. It was terrible. He really should have got killed in this. Ruby Rose was in this. I mean, she was okay. I mean, they could have put anybody in that spot. She said a couple of tech lines and acted sad. They didn't do anything with her character, kind of wasting whatever celebrity status she has. I haven't been too impressed with any of the roles that I've seen her in, so I am kind of looking forward to her as Batwoman because, you know, at least then in a series, she can do something with that. She can actually display a lot more acting skills and talent, which I think she has.
If you want me to go instead, I will.
I got this, mate.
Okay, good. So I was lying.
So Jason Statham's pretty likable in this. I like his friend, played by Cliff Curtis. They have a believable friendship. Both are great actors, so, you know, they could have put that in jeopardy, and they really didn't bother doing that. Also, his ex-wife, Lori, I mean, his whole motivation, which he wasn't ever going to come out of retirement and go on a rescue op, his whole motivation was because it was his ex-wife, Lori. And then they don't do anything with it. She's just sitting off in med bay recovering because she got a screwdriver in her stomach. I mean, come on. Come on. They bait and switch us twice in this movie. The first time it was a whale, and that was believable. That was cool. But when they fall for the like megalodon that's smaller and they can actually hang it on their boat, that was kind of dumb. I mean, eventually they do look at the teeth and be like, the teeth look smaller than the other teeth that have been destroying boats. I'm sorry, but like, it was a bit ridiculous. And then the giant megalodon jumps out and eats the other megalodon. Like, a lot of the shark behavior in this movie is just god-awful. Like, a lot of these things wouldn't happen. Oh, there's a dog swimming, so the giant shark is going to turn around and come after the dog because it can sense the dog. Even people, you got to factor in the fact that this shark is huge. It's not going to give a shit about a couple of people. That's one thing that I really love about the shallows. I mean, the shark had proper motivation. She intruded on his feeding ground, and thus he's territorial and has to protect it. That made sense. This movie, its shark behavior does not make a lot of sense. The shark itself was decent. The CGI was pretty good. There were a few times where I felt like the size of the shark changed, especially when it's going into shore. It was way too shallow for that.
That thing's out there. You need to find it and kill it.
This movie was supposed to be rated R, and I'm disappointed that it's not. Sadly, it was PG-13, but it's made $400 million, so you know the sequel, and there will be a sequel, will be PG-13. I think with shark movies, you rate the success, whether it's good or bad, with how they kill the shark at the end and with how they finish it. In The Shallows, they do kill the shark, and that's not what the movie was about. It was all about her survival. They should have stuck with the original script of where they made it to the shore, and that would have made for a much better movie. In this one, I'm all cool with what Jason Statham does because kick ass. That's Jason Statham. But the shark behavior again, all these little sharks coming in to attack the shark, like, for one, it's huge. It's barely going to notice these little mosquito sharks attacking it, and it should be able to defend itself pretty good. They should be able to shake them off and then eat them one by one, and if it was eating them, it wouldn't need to chew. That's how big it is. In the end, I could complain about inconsistencies and very basic dialogue and characters that you just don't care about that much. Like, I'll say it every single time, go over the script with a fine-tooth comb. You make the jokes funnier, you make the characters much more interesting, and you care about them when they die, you're creating a much better movie that's going to get repeat viewing. And that 400 million that's very impressive becomes 600 million because everybody's telling their friends, dude, this shark movie's amazing, you gotta go see it. But this movie was just okay. Jason Statham made it worth watching, so I do think it is worth watching.
Sure about this?
Not really.
Yeah, that's about all I can say about this movie. I hope the sequel is worthy of being in theaters, that they don't just crap out a script and be like, giant shark, special effects, people screaming, ah! Like, earn that 400 million, guys. Come on. And as always, thanks for watching.